Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. This is Pxy-Gnomes. This is a new scheduled streaming sessions, Pxy-STREAM. I'm Pxy-Gnomes and this is the revamp of this, so doing lesser amount of live streaming sessions. So instead of once per day, one every day, twice a week, right? Something for now. Eventually I will change this, but we'll see how that grows. And usually on projects that I'm doing or interesting topics that I find feasible for the day or for the week. So today we are going to address something that it's sort of a niche thing, but more for inventors. Da Vinci is kind of artists are creative, right? People in general are creative, and so the first question, yes, why do we need a template rig if why there are some other solutions like Rigify, add-on, Auto Rig Pro, Art, and many, even Mixamo rig. It's a free also, just as Rigify. I was watching some CG dive tutorials on that, and the Mixamo rigs automator seems like add-on seems quite interesting, but I have never tried. So anyways, it must look like Rigify. Maybe it's a little less complicated, but anyways, I do my own rigs and I'm not sure I can use what they propose entirely. For the things that I've discovered, the things that I need for my rigging characters are slightly different in certain aspects. That goes for what I find that is really important for the deform rig. That also goes what I really find that is important for the control rig, and many other personal preferences. But these are also different technical approach, different artistic approach, and this is why if we don't have time really for certain projects, no doubt we should better be working on those automators, because rigging is really difficult. 3D rigging can go sound of quantity of difficulty. Sound can be really complicated and time consuming. I believe even more sometimes than modeling and sculpting, because the kind of experimentation that we sometimes need to do in rigging, it can be more tricky. It's not so intuitive sometimes. And okay, so the template, what it is that you see this character. This was the last skeleton that I've made. It's not perfect, but it's mostly well done. However, this character, this was when I appended this rigged model, it was already, I've worked on a little more, so I'm gonna just delete this. So this is not the last version. This was Stuka's, the last project that I was doing. Now I'm not gonna this is almost completed, so it just doesn't matter. So I will be working this offline. The fact is that there are some updates here, and because this was the last skeleton that I've worked on, this one is already out of date in relation to this one. So the features here are a little smarter than what they are here. So this, I want to revamp my older characters. So there are two types of templates I will be working on. One is the template of the skeleton, the armature object. The other is the template of the base mesh of the character. So this is like the last intermediate low poly character. This was more low poly one. So this is more. This was the last source that I have for modeling, and I've even reused probably Aisha, which is another character, to confectionate, I think that's what exists, to make this one, Tsukagi, this character. Of course, the face features will be different, and but well, she also has a tail, so some things will be different. Anyways, certainly the clothing and some other aspects. But anyways, they are usually humanoids. So we're gonna need a template for the mesh, which would be already maybe a rework on this one. But this was another topic. My focus here will be the rig. So let's see where this object is. Period, numpad period. Actually, let's go to the, where is that? Screencast keys, right? So we see it's all inside this armature object. So if I delete this, it will delete. No, it doesn't delete everything. The objects go to somewhere else. So I'll try to delete everything here. That's good. All right. And these are the stuff for the main character here. So I need to update this, even though even though nothing. We're just going to have to reappend this, which is a bit complicated. I don't even remember how I achieved that properly, but we're gonna do a save as. No, I'm overwriting here because I'm not gonna use that thing after the change. So gonna append, file append, right? File append. So we need, I think it's in older work in progress stuff. Took a low poly game versatile, so no more so much game versatile here. Okay, 76. That was the last. Active collections, select instance collections, create instance for clear red, adding them to the scene. I'm not sure about that. Localize all, yeah, okay. Instance object data, create instance for object data, which I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not sure. Let's just try this. Of course, I would like to get the object, the skeleton, but this ruins the bone constraints apparently. So we can't use this. Also, there are some relations between the skeleton and the objects that might be important that I have. So I gotta get the. Well, I could also try the whole collection, right? Would be safe, but object should work as well. So it's probably the. If I bring just the armature, that will bring a lot of stuff, right? Yeah, and there we go. We see some. This is probably a duplicate. No, this is okay. So it bring it here, although I thought I was here. Anyways, we got there. We're gonna bring this object to the side, right? And all these widgets, maybe we're gonna reuse them. So let's move this into a new collection, which would be widgets temp. Alright, and we can hide this for now. What is widgets took a backup? Oh, this might be the from the other, right? Yeah, the previous one. So let's just delete all this here. All right, and just keep this one. You see that the size of the character is different. Of course, she's higher, but the size of their heads is more or less the same, probably nearly the same. So, the interesting part of this is that I'm going to go through the skeleton features one by one, and of course, because this skeleton has already got the ideally I should just superpose, but it's not like that. The problem is that it takes too long to let's save here, to reshape the skeleton size and there are some difference between their rigs anyways, so we're gonna do hard work here, some of the caveman solution, but there is a risk in doing that, of course, is that maybe I'll be missing something, but if the rig works, well, that's it, right? Okay, so I have besides the fact that these bones have already all the deformed vertex groups, right? So it's like, it's really, let's approximate here. But this should be an interesting thing anyways. Better that I see the models or not? Maybe for a while, yeah. So let's start with the, let's start with by skeleton for bone collection groups, right, folks? Like, if I start with the master control rig, right, just showing the master ones. So just gonna do step-by-step skeletoning. Alright. And let's enable the parenting. We want to visualize everything, even the widgets. So we're gonna update these colors, the names, whichever we can here. So this will be like the one of the best template characters which I will have. Although she's a bit taller than the other characters, but the scale is the scale for the skeleton, yeah, it is also a problem. So it would not be ideal, but well, we'll have to work around on that. For now, this is the closest to this rig that I have, so I'm gonna work on that. Alright, so what do we have here? Let's do bone by bone. So you have a aim hand left, this is correct. The color here, I'm using this one, alright, and this one is this one, yeah, for no reason. So let's just change this update. This I prefer this. Let's try to see that the orientations here are different. So this I've made because this was an update to the active individual origins. Let's do a normal. I think it's positive 90 degrees, right? Do they have the right color? Yeah, so it's called aim foot, right? We are going to, she has the wrong name on the armature. This is because I was experiencing some bug in the, yeah, I'll deal with that later. It's Tsukagi, just as here. So let's see the parenting. Center of gravity, yeah, we can simplify this. Oh, looks like no, nothing. I'm just assessing if this is pinned is updating. I'm not sure if it is updating. Control F key ankle, because the bones, they might have this similar names, right? Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Oh no, actually not. Mask. Why this has? I'm confused here about the. this parenting name there, master root. Looks like there's an extra bone here, which is, oh no, master root. I was looking wrong then. No, it seems that it's not updating. Yeah, so maybe I should, yeah, I need to unpin that. That's right. Okay, so this was dangerous actually, working between armatures. Yeah, I was suspecting that something. Okay, the root bone is not connected to anything. Let's see the orientation of the root bone. Y-axis looking upward. Why have this orientation, by the way? Maybe we should align the root bone with the yeah, so this whole alignment was due to some game stuff strategy, but I'm not sure this will be the best for the of course this will create some problems to the widget, right? And actually to maybe even other things. This one was created through widget add-on, yeah, which is something that bone widget add-on, yeah, so this one not like this that we can change this. Complicated. Yeah, this is being too slow. Why? First of all, okay, when I made the change here, why these bones, they are yeah, so I need to update that. Oh yeah, so in principle looks like this process will take too long bit by bit, so I should probably do a different approach here, like yeah, so definitively would be better to do the thing that I wasn't willing to do, which would be actually to reuse the, yeah, so what I'm gonna do is that I'll do the other way around. So I'm gonna render this skeleton obsolete, and I'm gonna use this one instead. So that means that I'll have to readapt the rig. Fortunately, this will not deal too much with the object. It's just more about the skeleton. It's still complicated, but it's more doable, I think. The way so this might be a better approach, yeah. So first I'll need to unparent, right? Unparent everything. It will make the, let's see, all the objects. Yeah, just line art. No, not line art. So, okay, the cloth bones, if there's any, I think there are some. We're gonna include there, right? And they'll be part of another layer, right? The hair, okay, so same as the hair. So probably you need to unparent everything first. Let's start with these ones, right? After we reparent, if the bones have the same name, clear parent, keep transformation. All right. Okay, all those are done. Okay, so we have this also. This line art, I think it should also make sure it is parented to what it is parent to. No, it has no parent. Okay. These are just linked for line art, so this doesn't matter. Mouth, okay, so we got this stuff. We're gonna clear parent and keep transforms. This could be way more complicated. So unparent icons, eyebrows, eyelashes. Okay, nothing too complicated here. Wire, let's see how many we have. A face, ghost, and eyeballs. Clear parent and keep transforms, and then this one, clear parent, keep transform. So this would probably not disable the, because even though it is not parented, object parenting, there are still the waves and there are still the armature modifier, right? So it still works, just as maybe it just doesn't move. Yeah, okay, that's it. So now we'll have to, yeah, so the problem is I have to stick this thing there in the, and this will be a little gruesome, hard to visualize stuff, but I'll find a way. Why the character is not floating in this? For some whichever reason, but it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna hide this stuff. So you see some stuff are the same. Are gonna address this. Okay, what I could do maybe is just hide the original. No, not the original armature, right? And try to match The only reason why I don't delete this is that, yeah, I've already explained why. But this could also just cause problems. So at least let's hide them. Rescaling a rig, as I know, can cause a lot of issues of the bone constraint. So you have scale issues group, right? This is the Tuka one, yeah. So these are unhidden. All of the bones. However, a skeleton that is purely a skeleton, right? That doesn't have mesh. The mesh is, we're not gonna see the horrid thing that it will happen to it. So it's not really a problem so much. We can also scale the armature itself. So what I can do is, let's say, can try to move the armature here, scale it up, somewhere like here maybe. Then we're gonna move up a little more, so the foot will be around here. This doesn't need to be perfect at this moment. We can always retweak this later. Yeah, the Tsukage armature is hidden, right? We should never confuse even though they are quite similar. Alright. So I have an idea about the root thing because of this aspect of my armatures. They want the character design, so I want perhaps to have two roots. One that is, so let's do a Shift D and move this there. So this will maybe align with the world. Yeah. Negative X. Scale 1. How do you get a bone of, how do you change the bone length from here? Ah, 0.5, alright. And maybe here we change like root, just like that. Okay, and get this parent to there. This can give another color, like and we don't need this, or if we have this it will be like 0, and can reset this. or maybe this root could have yeah, it could have something else. Like this is not the important root, so it could have something like a different shape, like just this engine there maybe. Oops, my Blender crashed. I don't know. I think I've lost some progress here. Yeah, we've lost unfortunately some progress. So it is easy to conceive that again, to remake this changes. What I did is that did I unparented? Yes, already unparented. Let's save here. Let's go for here and well, and solo all, that's it. Okay, saving here and apply scale now to the arm would probably cause some issues before I have time to fix everything, so this is probably not a good thing. In this version I still have the VRM skeleton, which I'm not sure I'm gonna maintain this approach, this experimental approach, because this skeleton can just be, because what I found out is that it might be better to get the mocap avatar, 3D avatar, into some new mesh object, duplicate, right, where all the mesh objects are maybe joined, so we can make the shape keys easily, combining the shape keys of whichever stuff are separated, but because the mesh object it's just a single one, then we can make a single shape key for all elements, so they move simultaneously in the same mesh object. So this is much better, right? And unfortunately this is a destructive method, because I'm not using any add-on to handle this. This approach of joining all the mesh objects would be the correct thing, and this in particular case of this character, she will be an avatar, so I was already doing this anyways, because she has actually she has this version here, which is would be the template, the animation for 3D animation in Blender, also for other projects, but exported, but not for mocap. Mocap is really specific because it essentially mostly will respond to the shape keys and very basic shape keys. You cannot create drivers. It's very bizarre. Alright, so we need to make these splitting projects, which is super awkward for me, but it seems required. So this is not this is before the split, so this is the real good character rigged model for more not generic purpose, because it will not include the specifics of mocap, but it will be more powerful. Yeah, the other will be a destroyed version of this. Anyways, okay, so let's see what we get here now. Okay, this is the, so this probably is useless, because we would better have this. It could serve as a backup, actually, right? A backup of repositioning of bones, right? So yeah, that's like, that could be the, could serve as a VRM backup. So because the bones already have already the correct proportions, all that, I'll align with what I'm working here, right? So let's get, yeah, let's do this approach, folks. Let's get all this. Why I'm doing this? We got unsolo all, unhide all, select all. So this is all the bones of Aisha and, but not Aisha, Tuka, the last project I was working on, but I'm gonna do a manual process here. We will be better off doing some, maybe we'll be looking better at this if this were octahedral, not big bone, but octahedral. Let's also get screencasts again. So I've already done this before, so no reason to panic here, folks. I know what I'm doing. It's just that it can be quite tricky. But if we keep things simple, it's not like 8-headed monster. It is perfectly doable. The joint will be hard to find here with all this amount of bones, but I need to move them all together, otherwise this will be very complicated. So what I'm going to do is, maybe I'm gonna just do these adjustments for now. I see I'm also moving the root bone, right? But doesn't matter, I can reposition this after. Yeah, I can map the joint of Tsukagi from her own rig. This is a bit crazy, but yeah, that should work. So now this is yeah, this is the correct. So we can try to, yeah, not try, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna map this joint. I have this option on, right, on edit mode. We will now hide this and hide the other. This will be slightly more complicated because we need to pick why this is displaced. We are on have some displaced bones, whatever. Okay, we'll pick, I'm gonna hide these two. I'm gonna select all of this, just one side, so the rest is symmetric, and hide everything. Oh yes, no, we don't want this, we don't want this. And we're gonna move all these to, I've lost the point. Annoying. Okay. I still have the selection. Okay. Okay, so this is the ankle joint that I've had original, so this sounds important. Doesn't seem like... No, I still got it. It's just that the other is still showing, so just hide it, right? And now we're gonna place it there. For some reason, oh, I'm on pose mode, of course. Here. Good. Then do the same for the other important joints, right? So I'm gonna duplicate. Root, the root of the root. Then we're gonna transforms. That should be pinned to. Maybe even here. We want this to 0.5, right? Okay, that is fine. And we don't want this, so this is where my Blender crashed when I tried to grab this from... Oh, these are... I used the... Okay, these are not objects, these are the bones, so maybe I just need to... Yeah, and all these names are took thing, right? So you can rename this. There's a test that I was doing to improve the workflow on these widgets, custom shapes, with and without widget, bone widget add-on, which found I did need some revamps and some features. It's very good for placing bones, but it's not very good at the organization of the bones. It has its own manners, and the way it does, it's like if you have lots of mini bones, it creates one custom shape object for every, right? It doesn't reuse the same, so it's a bit it's like I don't like it, like creating extra objects, just numbering one left, one two, like sound of mini bones that you can just do that with a single object. So I find that this is not so smart, and so certain bones would be better off just those that reuse a lot, right? Maybe some things control rig on the face. I remember the case, but one thing good about it, it has some preset widgets which are actually cool to have in the rig, so I get them from the widget, and turn them into mesh from the widget add-on, bone widget add-on, and then reuse them in a different way without widget add-on. So in the end, there are many things. So for this one is good for the root one is good for widget add-on. Maybe the okay, let's do this again. Bones find replace instead of tuka. If there's any tuka, I'm gonna do not tuka. Just do we just erase. Yeah, and there's another problem. Is that set name, let's say widget. Another problem is that it when it renames the is an operator that will rename everything, but then it will change. It's very dangerous because if you are doing some workflow slightly different, that it will override everything and then you'll ruin the naming. So it works, but it will override everything that we've done. So like I would like to have cube here, just a generic cube. This will be like one that you see I have a single okay, this is sphere half sphere, whatever. It doesn't matter, it's up and down. We can just change it with this, and widget add-on will like create one extra of this for every object, even if they are the same. So I haven't found a workaround to that. So this is limb. I don't know why these names are. This is F key. Yeah, F key. This is like what's the name of this? It's gear. This is sphere, which could be just a mirrored of this one, but I don't know how to do this properly. This will be smooth square or square smooth line. I think it's a line. Round the paddle and squared paddle. Oh, there's more. So rhomboid, shoulder. This is orientations. Okay, and these are more bones that are not. Yeah. Okay. So that means that I want. Yeah. For this one, let's get a. Yeah, it's using the. I changed the bones of the names, but. These are not the objects. So then the update, I'm not sure it will update with the bones of the names, of it will add those things here. So this is sometimes it's unwanted, right? Because this is the name of the armature, so it will input the name of the armature all together. So it's like there are many little details which, of course, the developer, he had his ideas in mind, but of how a workflow should be, right? Just as Blender original developers of shape of right, so that no wonder why there are add-ons for that. So it's always very difficult, right, to get a clean workflow out of those features, right? All right, but we can, yeah, we finally end up finding what, and here is not a problem. If I have the object and the object is correct, like for instance, I'm looking for these temp objects, maybe there's something here that they are somewhere there, so you can, there's a circle here. I think I use the gear, right? So I'm gonna copy this for now. I won't bother about the names for now. So I'm just gonna, like, this bone can be also a gear bone. Yeah, maybe even like that. Yeah. What is this? N switches. Yeah, you see, this is the name of the bone it took. I didn't want that, right? So the custom shape has, okay, and here we gonna do a and we can also make it smaller or bigger. It seems it's taking too much attention, right? So yeah, it's not super good to visualize. It would just be better to be a circle, but for now this is okay. So maybe for now let's try to do this mini thing so that we don't get distracted. Okay, 0.5 only, no more development that. So then our problem with the, yeah, they need to fix this in vanilla Blender. They need to give the wireframe to the objects, right? So that's why I want to turn this arrow, this cool arrow, into a, but this is not for now, so we don't care. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is the joints, right? Yeah, let's continue fixing the joints things, and for that we need to continue this. I don't understand what is this bone there. It should appearing right here. Oh, this is these bones are displaying in front, so this is not a good idea, right, in the end. So let's move them back here. GY1. Yeah. Is my collection of widgets of bones, so I can see what they look originally by default, right? And so this can help in some unfinished setup, right? Okay, let's save here. The joint here, this particular joint, of course we cannot do that. We need to make a different selection here. Yeah, this one will be tough. So let's do this the right way. It's not like this, it's actually, we get this, we unsolo all and hide all. Let's also make this octahedral. It's just this joint active, and oh, there are some toe bones there. This I should bring to the other rig after. Some weird thing because of the way I did this, yeah, something that needed some little reassessment, but this will be auto fixed by my new approach here, so don't need this. Alright, so here apparently it's just show bones. Yeah, let's go and solo all. Okay, everything is being shown. Going. So not question of moving these bones. Now these are. It's lagging a little, folks. So here what you need to do is just to pick this, and we're gonna. We see that it is aligned, right? So we're gonna just do the following. We bring this. Oh yeah, we need also this joint, so it's actually there are two bones there. Alright, so let's hide this and select this and this. There, we snapped, unhide all. Then now we see that for some reason here this bone, which I don't remember why it is small like this. Wow. So okay, this is a bit complicated. Let's do in a organized way. Hide one side. Okay, so what is this ankle? Ah, it's a helper bone, of course. It's a helper bone, so you just need to. We see that the bone there is twisted in a strange way. Okay, we can probably detwist it. It's a bone roll thing, so let's just see. It's the roll here. It's yeah, there are many bones there, right? So first thing, let's align here. Yes, but then these alignments, I don't know why they are like here, but if I okay, so this is the question here. This is already reset, right? So this is reset. Yeah, we can try to reset those rolls, but this is a cleaning up, that doesn't matter. So if I reset here, this all goes in the wrong direction. So I need to probably invert this, and so this I would probably prefer the reset form, because it's like okay, it's like easier to solve, right? So you can get all these bones here and align them. Actually, first this helper there. There's an ankle foot. Okay, let's align with this. Then the problem here is that I need to, yeah, there's some, these rolls we're gonna fix them gradually, if that can solve anything. So we need to select no, not this. So I'm gonna hide all these. See, there are some strange rolls. We can fix that. Is the left side, so don't need this anymore. So now we can grab, oh, there's also this little one which is knuckle toes. What this is doing here? This doesn't seem correct. Yeah, I have no idea what. That is mysterious. Maybe they should be here, right? So let's just move them back to their. This will be a little more complicated because no, okay, this one is, but it's not having the proper alignment, right? So this will sort of cause problem to the automation, all this change. So align with. Okay, first let's pick this. Yeah, now it's easy to pick them from their body. And then we align with, we'll reset all their roles, but it doesn't work because on the side view we see that we have this strange thing that happens. Well, not strange if we consider that the foot is spreading. So maybe this is actually not incorrect, but it's not what I expected. Alright, but we need to align this with I need to know how will I okay, so let's hide this first. How I used to do this, basically it's one click, align here. It is parent to the control toes, which is not here. If you align here, will it lose its parenting? No, but it will not be nice. Now we need to rotate it like 180 degrees, right? And now it is pointing like in the opposite direction. If I reset the roles, now it's pointing up. So I prefer to have these roles reset, except maybe for this bone, which is probably I'll still revise this, but yeah, it doesn't seem good. Could it be that the bone is then tilting? No, because it's parent. Well, maybe yes, maybe a little. So maybe we can have it align with Shift N. Yeah, those are pretty tricky. No, it didn't seem anything has changed. Well, now it's like that. Okay, I aligned with that, whatever it is. Just some details, and this should be aligned with the ankle, the shin. All right, and hide this. Now I need to find the location of the joint of the knees. Let's let me restart the recovering my soundtrack. Let's save, let's hide here. Going back to the armature. Oh, I have some cloth bones here, right? But what I just want is this joint here. Let's try to edit mode. So okay, so this is some mechanism bones that for automation we want this, and also we don't want actually this side. Just making sure this is the right selection. Okay. Because if I pick accidentally the other side, yes, we can pick the helper knee and the helper knee. Yeah, we can pick them. There we go. Okay, this solves one. Then there is still another important joint there. Save. Maybe I should place this one. It will be easier. Alright, so I've decided that the joint will be there for some... Okay. Then here... Anything else besides that? So need to include this bone, help pelvis type. Okay, these are another set. Then yeah, there's some little helper bones that probably should be moving. They are aligned with something. Let's see. Oh yes, so why do I have this some sort of automation system for the groin? Okay, let's map crotch, I think. Oh, this is map foot. There might be other positioning for this. It's not super important, but we'll move them all together. And this is switch leg. No, this is not important. Okay, I'm not gonna touch on this map foot. So essentially these ones, right? Alt H, anything, save, and so all. Yeah, we have all the bones here. That's it. So just match there. The problem of the spine, the lower spine, the hip. So I've been struggling to understand what could be a more interesting idea, but of course this is not for now, not even for, maybe for another project, but I want to find the best position of splitting the spine. It's very curious because a character that has a tail already shows some very bizarre thing on the way we rig, right? One that the lower spine connects at the hip, but the hip is a lot of stuff, right? In terms of volume, it occupies a lot of space in the lower body, lower torso part of the body, but at the same time the spine goes until is connected with the hip, the pelvis, and then it has a coccyx for human beings at least, and then it gets to the tail. But the spine of a 3D rigged character is not like that. It's like crazy. The spine may even go very low on the lower torso as a real spine, but it's not exactly the position of the skeleton spine, the real spine bone, real tissue. And the tail, if I understand well, the coccyx is it's evolution regression of a tail. So the coccyx is the base of the spine, and how the spine goes lower than the tail, so it makes no sense for it, but for rigging it would. So still what I want to do is to see if I can push the splitting of the spine as low, the hip joint with the spine as low as possible, still use the hip sway thing, and at the same time have more flexibility on the spine as it goes up. So I can use my auto IK option to flex the spine, the torso in all sorts of ways. So my idea is that, so there is some contradiction to that, because, well, one thing are the bones, one thing is the waves, right? So of course if we have, it doesn't matter if we have splitting of the bones, if we have a splitting here and the hip will be here, which anatomically might even make sense, because the hip is a bone like a butterfly shape, right, from a front to a back view. So it's sort of so having a split of the upper spine and lower spine, or actually a split between the hip and the spine lower, the axis of this is very important, folks, because at least in my perception, because that will allow to have more subdivisions, or even if not more subdivision, have the spine contortioning from the lower point, and that can be nice for the forms, for the 3D character animation, especially cartoony ones, and still have hip sway. Then we might have to find a way to include more, so maybe it will be helper bones, or just maybe some automation or wave paint, something that will be extra, because unless there would be some way to have the waves of the lowest spine or the hip would include more of these bones, and which could make sense. So there are various ways of doing that, but everything seems to be a bit tricky. The way it is I have here works, but like I've lost, as I started to split the spine, you see the splitting is, in this case it is here. I think it is too high, like it is evaluated, of course, it's near the navel, but it is close to this bone here, how do you call this, near the pelvis, the protuberation on the sides, the uppermost ones, iliac crest, iliac crest. So yeah, it is close to the iliac crest, but it's not really close to where the spine might connect with the pelvis, which is maybe a little bit lower. And so that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, all right. And then of course from the side view, the anatomic is a nightmare, because of course the spine is the skeleton bone spine of the rig is actually more center. It's not going really close to the spine, and this is like practical experience. I don't really try too much. I would like to have made the experiments, but other riggers did for me, so for us. So essentially it's common sense. We also know that works well for joints like elbows and knees. If we place the too much on the center, the deforms are not so good. So for the spine, because it bends in all directions, so maybe, yeah, we would like the bone to be more centralized. Even here, yeah, this spine of course is not correct. This is not from her, so I'm gonna adapt this. Yeah, let's continue doing that. We need to find the point of. Let's simplify this, right, folks? There are some clot bones here that are not gonna be relevant, I think. Yeah, here. Well, actually, maybe I should do the opposite. Here. Clot. Oh, there. But it's not working. Alright, so let's do this instead. Yeah, this is annoying, but okay, so I need this positioning here. Which corresponds to the groin region, nearly the center, yeah, somewhere like that. So now I get here. Actually here, yeah, I prefer doing this. Edit mode, we want these bones have some color. They look like they are selected, but they are not. So I still want to select, but I don't know what's its name, so yeah, this will be better. Map fit. Okay, this is okay, let's move this one together to follow up. Yeah, at least this one, right? Oh yeah, since these are related, so map foot, yeah, okay, so they are. But here we're gonna move. Let's see if we got everything. Yes, Alt H to just check that's nothing lost here. Okay, we're gonna Shift S, but this time 7. Selection to cursor offset. No, it's not working. Individual origins, no. Yeah, so you can't do that. Okay, so let's. Oh, maybe I need to get all of them. Yeah, that's it. No, didn't work. I think I need to have active no, so I have some issue here at this positioning, so I'm gonna make the another rough way here. I'm gonna unselect this and select this, and yeah, well, no, there are some strange things that are okay. Selection occurs like that. Now yes, then I pick at least one of these. Need to lock this into a we need to align it with probably this this reference here. Not this. This is a system that I've made for having some special feature on the Shift Alt. Select mirror, SX0, there we go, is that correct? And then here another thing, we're gonna try to align it with select map foot line, so this will cause some issue, but that's fine. Let's see its transform 0.02, Control C. So I'm gonna SZ0 and okay, so it got rotated for some weird reason. I want to align it with this okay, that seems to work. And now also want to make sure that it is aligned with that map foot right. It doesn't really matter. SY0. Wait, where is it? SY0, there we go. So these are actually mappers. I'm gonna show what it is about. It's an automation that not sure if there exists, probably someone did that somewhere, but you see, when we rotate the foot, like the foot the leg right does the I key thing, but the foot doesn't rotate, but we have another controller which is the parent, and this allows the foot to rotate like that, and we can pose them. They just stack, right, in an undestructive way, right? And this is very cool, I think. So this pointer, this arrow points up because it is looking in this direction. It's trying to find this aim bone, so it's an aim target, which is, I believe it's this one, map T, what is T, I don't remember, but target, it's target, yeah. So it's trying to find that target, that's why it's pointing always towards it. So what that does is that this bone here, it has, is not mean to, so it has a target dumped track, just that, and this is parented to the master center of gravity, while the master IK foot, which is not an IK target, nor is this one, or the IK target is inside the foot, right? So this same system for the hands also exists. There you can see. So you can do that. So they are, we can decide, if I reset here, we just go back to the original, and we can pick both at the same time, of course, both arrows. Alright, so this is just a parenting relation. This is parent to the, well, not. Okay, so this is, hold on, something is wrong here. Master center of gravity. Okay, so it's a bit more complicated. So what happens is that we have a triple bones here. So looks like, oh, it's still pinned. That's it. No, it's not that complete. No, it's just like that. This is parent to the aim foot, just like that. So the master IK foot is parent to the aim foot. So that's why it will follow. But so we cannot really, well, we can twist. This is the only rotation this bone has. Besides the fact it's rotate itself automatically because of the dumped track. So this is a rigid bone. It's really just meant for this ballistic, not ballistic, because this we can do it like this, right? So it's not exactly for this, because this can do the same thing, but this allows for the rotation here. So this is the real foot rotator bone. Besides, we have the F key controller, which offsets the deform rig from the IK rig, but this is still another story. But this one, you got the idea. The setup is quite simple, and then of course we have these targets, which you shouldn't be changing them. These are the tweaker maps, so this will map is the target, so it can do something like that. I'm not sure how this will be used, but the first, this is parent to the map target fit, and this is the parent to the center of gravity. So maybe there is something here that I don't. Yeah, you see the arrows, they stay as we put. So if we really want to change everything, sometimes we just need to make some center of gravity motion, right? Because this will not carry the arrow. So I found out that it is better. We don't want to be, sometimes we just don't, we want to keep, because this will rotate everything if they move. So these aim bones, they shouldn't be moving all the time, but we can do some weird stuff here. But in principle, this will follow the, you see the arrows also follow the master center of gravity. So this brings all together a lot of things all together, right? I would say that some things didn't follow, but it's probably because I'm looking at the other both rigs. Yeah, that's it. No, I wasn't. Okay. Oh, some bones are just not parented to the armature, but that's to the root bone even. So this is because of another thing. Yeah, these use some. They're just some mapper bones. don't have bond constraints. Oh yeah, they are using the, of course not, they are using control stuff, right? I mean, they are driver. So actually you need to parent this. Let's parent this to the probably center of gravity. Yeah, and the VRM there, who knows? So this is like a dead skeleton, but it's still affecting the rig because the deformed bones are parented to it. But this is like, see, this is that not a bone? No, this is the her nails, which are red. Alright, let's continue. So here the spine might have some, so the main joints, except for the face. The face I would have to maintain her face, rig of course, and just then I'll change the approach. The face is way more complex, so of course her face is already rigged. But I'll have to adapt some. So the skeleton we're seeing here is not adapted for her face. Is the of another character, but there are some features here that I would pretty much like to update. That will be challenging, but that will be for another day. So folks, here I think that's it for the demonstration here. This is like tedious and probably, but it's very important for me because I use those custom rigs and I'm trying to get this custom, but it's very complicated because over time I get improvements, major improvements to this, and I don't know how to automate, like doing a meta rig. So I have a plan to learn scripting. I learned just a little small bits, but I need more. My real plan would be to learn scripting to be able to do something like using Rigify extension, right? Vanilla Blender to, yeah, consider extensions is Vanilla Blender still, because it's free and it's nearly inbuilt with support, direct support mostly, and to learn to make some, build most of this rig into a meta rig thing, like can save meta rigs. And but more important than that, I would like to one day to be able to make my own rig types, so I could start to rig some features, including this one, for instance, the one that I explained from the aim. And of course this can be super complicated. More complicated than that, if even feasible, would be the automation for facial rigs involving face ghost mesh, the dummy models for the, yeah, that can be used for eyebrow stuff. So all those stuff that involve rigged vertex group objects and the skeleton, this can be more complex, maybe not feasible. Once we get rigging nodes, then maybe those automations can be done even without Rigify add-on, or maybe Rigify add-on becomes part of the rigging nodes. That would be great if that they could tweak, like as we would be using rigging nodes, would be tweaking into Rigify. Maybe rigging nodes would be like a part of Rigify extension. I don't know. I assume not, because they are different, very different projects, the approach of Rigify add-on, but I think rigging nodes will may come sooner than we expect. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And if it's true that it can do some visual programming of the skeletons, that means we can automate reading, and that would allow us to have the power of, like if we were programming Rigify, like we were scripting Rigify, through the rigging nodes. I just realized that you know, if you followed some history of computing and programming, some research, let me share some idea here. There is MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which have been building some ideas since decades, right? When I was a kid, they were building, or they already built, logos, or logo, which was a turtle. Let's see if I find some that walked on the screen. You program you had to, those old PCs that you had the turtle walk in a path and make a drawing on the piece on the screen, right? Just by typing in MS-DOS the commands, and of course you need to know which codes would be that, right? For some reason it doesn't. There's, I think in Wikipedia it'll be, but then decades later, the successor of logos was Scratch, this one. So this is a software of programming for kids. Yeah, used in schools, start to be used. Kids can do a lot of, it's very complex stuff they can do with playing with, because it integrates sound, image, video, animations, right? Therefore they can, it's really, really versatile, and the kids can do whichever they please, and they get really in touch with programming. And what is this? Folks, this is rigging nodes. This is a node system. I see inbuilt, this is how it works. I had the experience with this with a professor that I already knew from art teaching college or university, and she had a discipline or matter, a subject that was about computing for kids, for education, arts education. Then she presented us this marvelous development, Scratch. So what is this? These are node system, which Blender uses, by the way, and this can be very, well, quite intuitive, in the sense that even kids can learn that. So it's not necessarily MIT that invented node systems, of course, I'm not saying that. Maybe, yes, maybe not, doesn't matter. But the fact that they made Scratch. So these guys, well, the universities should do doing basic research or stuff like that. So yeah, so this was at least light years ahead of when the guys that were making software for right. What I mean, yeah, don't want to blame anyone, but the idea is that this is the cool stuff. This is not a totally, let's say, still top down, because right, but it's not. It's different. This is more open. This is like a more bottom-top approach to whichever is complicated. And I mean, if rigging nodes bring something like that, that will be a total game changer. And I want, yeah. So, and I don't know the challenge of doing something like that, anyways. But this must be big, otherwise folks that make Rigify extension add-on, right? They would have done that, right? If it was simple. No, so, but no, it's probably much more complicated. And turns out that the approach of that's one of the reasons that I can't use very well Rigify, because, and I do my custom rigs because of this idea of top-down or bottom-top approach. So this, it translates into this quest, Scratch for kids, right? So Rigify for kids, we need that. So we need that urgently in Blender. So it's rigging nodes maybe will be the game changer. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Of course, meanwhile, if I have time, I would like to learn Rigify, so I just the scripting and for Rigify, so that I can do some yeah, it's good to learn this kind of stuff for the kind of thing that I'm planning to do. And but that is another quest, personal quest, so this is not yeah, meanwhile I should be doing my own stuff and learning like a turtle. So thanks for watching, folks. Please like, subscribe if you like the content. Take care and happy blending. See ya another day, and if you want, and I'll be pumping up more content on the highlights. Yes, see ya, folks.